Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, and welcome back to the Macro Lounge podcast. I am, as always, your host, Christopher Burld, and as always, the stunningly gorgeous and effortless co-host, Rachel Mead.
Right, so we've just had our first couple of shows for the season, so we thought that we would talk about what do we do post-show and how do we then move into nationals and improve between regionals and nationals. So, for regional show, you've just done your regional show, or maybe you're about to. Generally, there's two ways the show went. Either you did better than you expected, or you did worse than you expected. A couple might be as expected.
It depends on the show, but yeah.
But most people, those are pretty much your options.
And it's, once you've done that, yes, you said you did better or as well, or then you've got to get ready to jump up from the regionals to nationals. So like in New Zealand, and Australia as well. I mean, Australia has the state shows. New Zealand, we have our regional shows, and then you jump into nationals. And obviously, when you're jumping into nationals, it's a bigger stage. The competition's going to be stiffer. You can't half-ass your prep. You can't go in thinking, well, I'll just see how I go. You've punched your little ticket for the Willy Wonka chocolate factory, and you're now off to the chocolate factory. So, not that you're allowed chocolate till after.
Anyway, so if you have not done as well as you expected in your regional show, does that mean that you should not go to nationals?
Well, it depends on why you haven't done as well. If you didn't intend to come into a regional with being 100% on, like when we'll talk about a bit later on, Rich, is that with the recent ICN South Island Classic, we had zero intention of changing anything prep-wise for you. You were mid-prep, it served its qualification purpose. So if you didn't do as well as you thought, if that was the reason why, great. Then you just keep stepping up to national. So yeah, I always think is just look at why you place there and then go from there. Right?
Yeah, definitely, because there is a lot of things you can improve on between regionals and nationals. Obviously, the main one that you probably can't do between the two shows is size. So if your only reason that you didn't place as well as you thought was size, then that might be a reason to take a bit of an off season, unless you want to see how you go. But there is a lot of things that you can improve in the space between, because a few of us have a few weeks. A lot of people have 4 weeks. Some people only have 2 or less. Thinking about what we can do.
I mean, obviously, nationals is not the place to reinvent your wheel. It's not the place to go back to the beginning. It's, you don't have enough time. It's the sharpening, it's the finesse. It's, you've generally only got a very short period of time. Like with ICN, I think there's about 5 weeks between the last regional and then the nationals, which is in Taupo this year. And then the NZIFBB is, sorry, off the top of my head, I think there's 2 weeks. I think there's a gap between Waikato and national. So you don't have a lot of time. So it's about fine-tuning your weak points. Maybe it's adjusting your cardio or your nutrition, depending on what you've been planning and doing, but it's getting better with your posing practice. It's not the time to rebuild and go back to the drawing blocks. If you need to do that, then you're probably better off skipping the nationals for the year.
Definitely. And then if you did better than expected, just remember it might also not mean that you will smash and take out nationals. So just enjoy the win, definitely. But also remember at nationals, everyone is qualified and you will get people who weren't necessarily in shape for their regionals who are working towards that national show. So remember that if they're still improving, you still need to improve too. So yeah, everything we can do, every 1% add up, every 1%.
Every you're right, 1%. It's all those small adjustments that make a big impact. I mean, and the thing is, when you come through to nationals after regionals, very first thing is you should be asking the judges for feedback from your regionals. What do they want to see you change? And if that's something that you can implement between the regional and the nationals, great. But it's a battle of millimeters, not a battle of meters when you're going through to the nationals. So get that feedback and just enforce it. But you want to come in the matter of percentages. You want to come into nationals with the judges going, wow, she really listened to what we said, and you can see the improvement. The downside is when you come in, if you look phenomenal at regional and you rock up at nationals and you still look phenomenal, but you still look the same. It's like, it doesn't necessarily work in your favor. That battle of that 1%, battle of the millimeters, and that's the step from regionals to nationals.
So some of the super easy things that you can improve, just presentation, potentially posing. Can you hit your poses better? Can you do your transitions better? Maybe a little bit cleaner. If you haven't been on stage many times or a first timer, you can probably brush off the show nerves a little bit more, be a little bit less nervous on stage. It does happen to everyone, but yeah, you probably will be able to present yourself a little bit better on stage after your regional show. Makeup is another big one. My first show, I decided the bad idea to do blue makeup to match my blue suit. Don't do it, guys.
Yeah.
But
For
luckily,
those of you listening, I'm shaking my head going, no.
It did mean, though, that it was very easy fix for my national show when I then went on to that 2 weeks later. So if you need to like do touch-ups to your makeup, maybe your hair, you need to style your hair differently. I've had shows before where I literally should have just brushed it and I didn't, and it was a bit messy on stage. So there's very small things that you can make significantly better easily between that time. Maybe your tan. You look after your tan a little bit better, or just get, I don't know, another coat if you need to. I don't know. But definitely tan is another easy one. Backstage, a lot of first timers get very nervous about eating and drinking water because they think it's going to make them bloated, and I don't know. Hopefully you can listen to your coach this time and you know that, no, you are not going to look like you are pregnant just because you ate a little bit of rice.
No, if you do, you already looked a little bit pregnant. But you did neglect one thing, Rachel. These things, this polish and presentation that you can improve on. It's a very good excuse and timing to get a new sparkly bikini.
Unless you have to buy a custom one in less than 2 weeks is probably a little bit hard.
Okay, well then don't do that. But also,
organize it in advance if you're going to do that, please. Although I do have quick ships. There is ready to ship suits. I've actually just listed a new one because I accidentally made it slightly wrong. That's my bad. But it's beautiful, so it is for sale.
But also, let's be realistic here, Rachel. Have you made your swimsuit for nationals?
No, not at all. But my runway dress
fabric... Have you made your dress?
I was going to say the fabric arrived today.
Okay, excellent. That's good. So basically the answer to that question is no, she's not done anything for that. So
no, I have not. I just make everyone else's suits first.
Yeah, that's true. But it's also a good idea. It's a good opportunity. Like a lot of girls will buy 2 suits in a year. And some people will have a suit that they wear for regionals, and then some people will have, like, if you like, their A suit or the colour that they feel that speaks to them the most, they save for the big dance, so to speak. Fiona's a classic example of that. What other things can you work on there? We talked about, you being better prepared backstage. You learned something at regionals this year, Rachel, that you're going to implement at nationals, and I'm sure you can share that with all the lovely people out there.
Is this about the earring?
No, that's what I would say, but no, this was about your sleeping arrangements, shall we say? Relaxing, chilling. Oh God, she's on prep brain. Camp stretcher.
Oh, yes. Yeah, no, that was genius. I am definitely bringing... Do I even have a camp stretcher? I do have like a little inflatable mat thing, which I think I'm going to bring.
Those are actually really good. Except for you have to stand there backstage and pump it up with your foot and you look like a right woman.
No, it's like a little self-inflated one. It's like the thin ones. Yeah, it's just like, it's not a full air mattress, but yeah, I always do bring a pillow and blankets, and I even bought a dressing down to Christchurch because I was expecting it to be cold. Weirdly, it was hot. I don't understand. It was really strange because then apparently it was really cold up north. I don't know.
Yeah, I think we lucked out quite well on that one.
Yeah, bringing stuff backstage is actually another really good one. If you found that maybe you realized, oh no, I needed some touch-up tan, or oh no, I needed a spare pair of earrings or something, you know to have that for next time. Yeah, you usually can tell.
Or in Rachel's case, you needed to find another hole in your ear because you won't fit your damn earrings.
Yeah, I'm going to buy some earrings and just wear them all the time. To just, because one of my... It took me 20 minutes to get my earring in fit contact. It just would not go through the back of my ear.
I was just standing there. I just was picturing this arterial blood bleed just squirting across the backstage area.
There was a little bit of blood.
Well.
Beauty is pain.
Okay.
But anyway, you can tell the experience... You can tell the experienced competitors because the experienced competitors usually have a suitcase. A big wheelie suitcase full of like pillows and blankets and comfiness.
What did we forget in the suitcase this time, Richard? Stretchy things?
Oh yeah, bands, pump up stuff. I always forget something. At least I didn't forget my food this time.
No, this is true. Yeah, we learned from last time, which is true. But I was saying, a lot of girls in the States, they actually wear a lot of those the fashion accessory earrings. They're getting them done in clip-ons now.
Clip-ons. I do have some clip-ons.
I think they're a great. Honestly, I was petrified watching you stab that thing through your ear. I was like, oh, this is not going to go well.
I would get worried about it getting caught in my hair and then flicking the earring off.
That'd be entertaining.
Just throw it at someone.
Wouldn't be the first time, I'm sure.
Sabotage.
Yeah. Oh, how'd that happen? Oh, my bad.
Oops.
But it's like you learn from each show. Like, I mean, Rachel, you've done so many shows now but when you are backstage, it's like you still see stuff and you go,
like the camp
That's a good
stretchers.
idea. Yeah, the
Camp
camp
stretchers.
stretchers, or in Brooke's case, sleeping bag, pillow. I think she damn near had the camp stove out there. She was set. I was waiting for
To
her to
be
start
fair,
making
that's actually a good
s'mores.
idea. Oh my god,
Yeah,
that's a good idea. Because everyone's eating cold chicken and rice backstage. Oh my god.
I
You
don't
could
know
bring
if
like
you're
a little
allowed.
gas burner. Just go
Yeah,
outside. You can just
okay.
go outside. That's
Yeah,
genius.
but the hardcore military people probably have those little heat packs that the chemical ones. You have to
That's
ask
true.
Brooke. She's in the defense force, isn't she? She'll know. She
Hey,
can
I
answer
was
that question
outdoor
for us.
education teacher, so camping stuff is also kind of, I have a lot of it. But yeah, you
S-
can get like a little cooker thing and you can just
Yeah,
bring it to the show and it's like this
yeah.
big. That
You'd
is
be the most.
genius.
You could actually buy on Temu those little heat plates. You can just like
Mm.
your little. You get the little lazy Susan cooker sets that the kids buy, and
I
you
do
could
have a
just
cup warmer
roll.
thing to keep coffee
There
warm.
you go. So sorted.
Anyway, back on track.
We were talking about running out of tan things to sell. Now we're thinking, oh, we could sell camp stretchers. We could put up little warming plate. It's a whole new product line, Rachel. It's great.
Because, I mean, there's never microwaves backstage in New Zealand. The
No,
federations need to invest in a microwave.
they have enough trouble investing in mirrors. Let's not get too far ahead of ourselves. What else do we have to think about when you get through there? Your mind has to shift, right? Your mindset has to shift. Speak English, Christopher. You're not on prep. Low carbohydrates is not my problem. When you shift from the regional show and you shift your focus to preparing for the national show, there is a different set of pressures that come with it, obviously, because you are expecting everybody to bring their A game to nationals. People don't generally go to nationals just to get the T-shirt. They normally are there because they want to be more competitive. So it is a bigger mental game than regionals. You've got more pressure on yourself. It's not just the physical side. So the talent's going to be deeper. There's going to be more athletes that you're probably going to fall into the comparison trap for. Your pressure's going to get higher. But I think it's a real good time to sort of reframe how you look at it. So not looking at it from a nerves or anxiety or type thing. It's like, it's exciting because you get to step up against people that have already proven themselves. So, I think it's a real good time. I don't know, you talked before, Rachel, about like having to shift your mindset from going from say swimsuit to runway, and then when you go into the national level, all these girls, you've seen them, we've watched them, we've stalked them. We're very good at. We just talked about this before. We do a little bit of stalking on the side.
Dude. I mean, actually, no, don't. We don't recommend this. This is a do what I say, not what I do situation.
There's stalking and then there's stalking. They're different.
Anyway, but yeah, no, there is definitely like a more competitive edge to going to nationals because you're no longer just, I guess, showing up to see how you stack or to just see your progress for the year. Now you're competing to get a national title potentially. Like everyone obviously wants to win. Like nobody goes to a show and thinks, "Oh, I want to place one of the last places." Nobody thinks that. Everybody wants to place. So yeah, that is and you do always know that it's going to be harder at nationals. And then you've also had a long prep. You've probably just enjoyed a little bit of a refeed, and you've just remembered now what burgers actually taste like. And now you have to take that back away.
Yes, yeah, that's that post-show regional refeed where it's like, so this is what food's like.
Yeah, you have like, if you have a day, some people will have a day off after their show, depending on how long they have and how much they need to be ready. But if you've had that day off and your post-show food, you're like, I feel great. And then a week later, you're like, I don't think I can do this anymore.
Yeah. It's like, how long? It's like, no. It's like, and then you say, oh, by the way, I'm taking more food away. What?
Yeah.
You are sick. That's what I get called a lot. It's like, there's something wrong with you. I'm like, yeah, okay.
Yep. Yes, there is. But yeah, no, it can get a lot harder mentally because you've had that little taste of freedom and then it's taken back away and you're like, why am I doing this? So it can get harder mentally at that point. So it really is a mental game to get into the nationals. Last couple of weeks, you're almost there. Just need to push through. Light is at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah, which is for a lot of people, nationals that's the end of the tunnel for the year. Some people, it's like in the ICN, you've got the Oceania after that, and then obviously there's other people who will go on from nationals and they'll do some international shows as well. So it really depends on where you're at and how long you want to go. But it is a different step up, and you've got to be prepared for that. You're not going up against tin cans and donut holders. You expect to see the best of the best at nationals, and only one person can win. And so that's just how it goes. Obviously, the other thing about nationals in general, most people have to travel. We've talked about this previously in other episodes. Generally, most of us are not lucky enough to have nationals in our back door. Not so much with the NZIFBB, because nationals generally is in Auckland. A few years ago, we did it in Wellington, but generally it's up here in Auckland. ICN this year is in Taupo, so just about everybody's going to have to travel for that one.
Not
So
too
you
far
need to
for
start
me.
planning for that. Well, yeah, well, that's true. You do. Yeah. Some of us have to travel from.
Well, luckily you get to travel halfway down the day before, and then the rest of the day.
That's true. It's like a tag team thing. It's like, right, Te Kuiti, Taupo. At least it's two
Right, to
T's.
make
I
us
could get
couple.
confused. At least I don't have to go Tauranga, Te Kuiti, Taupo. I'd get lost. That would not end up. That would
Go
not end well.
sideways. But yeah, think about where you need to travel. What do you need to pack? Make sure you have all your food ready to go. Don't break your food scale like I did on the morning of the show.
Fortunately, your coach brought one with him. But the other thing is you have to think, like particularly this year with the NZIFBB, the Nationals is over a Labour weekend. Such things as travel will increase. New Zealand is not known for doing its specials when they know that every man and his dog's going to be on and get on a plane. And the same thing applies for accommodation next weekend, or just depending on when this one comes out. But like, for example, the Wellington NZIFBB Joelberg Classic is right over the Wearable Arts Awards. So that kind of does a few curly
What am I
things
going
with
to
the
that?
accommodation. Well, you just take a bikini down, put some extra jewels on it, you'll fit right in. But it does add stress, so you need to plan for that and be prepared for it.
And don't do what we did. Book your flights significantly earlier than your turn, just in case you get a 4-hour delay. Because you don't need that extra stress on show day for nationals.
No, that's it. Generally try to get there earlier rather than try and cut it fine, because you just don't know what's going to happen.
Get a flight in the morning, not
Yes.
in the afternoon.
Not in the afternoon. No. And after having, I think, not one episode before that, we had gone through this whole thing about preparing for traveling for shows, and what did we do? We ignored everything that we said that you should do and just completely screwed it up.
Like I say, do what we say, not what we do.
Yeah, exactly. Not everybody travels with a tent and a spray gun in their back pocket.
That's true.
We were fortunate that one. So you plan for that in advance. Be prepared for the travel that's going to be involved in getting ready for that, because again, you don't want to be stressing. You've done all the hard work. Generally, most of the federations, if something goes wrong, you flick them a message and say, help, I'm stuck here or something. They're normally going to be reasonably accommodating because they know what you've been through. And again, it comes down to how you approach them. If you approach them with some humility, some dignity, and some just like, hey, this is on me. This is my responsibility, not yours. Generally, they're going to work with you. So, don't get too panicked. And there's no point overly stressing about it, because if you're sitting there at Auckland International Airport waiting for a Jetstar flight and they keep saying delayed, it's not like you can do anything about it. So you will get there eventually. It might be to Tuesday, but you'll get there. What else have we got about getting ready for nationals?
Recovery, because you're going to be tired, because you probably have upped your cardio and downed your calories, so you will be extremely fatigued and probably quite sore. So make sure you are prioritizing recovery, and stretching. Mobility obviously is important for posing. If you stiffen up, it's going to really hurt your posing. So make sure you are getting enough sleep. It is very important that you get a good amount of sleep. Otherwise, you are going to start holding water and just generally not looking as good because you are just too exhausted. So talk to your coaches if you find that you're getting too tired. Prioritize your recovery. Make sure that you are in a good space so that you can show up to nationals knowing, yes, I'm calm, relaxed, I have some energy to be alive on show day, and look amazing, basically.
I frequently say I would rather you got half an hour extra sleep than spend 15-20 minutes on the treadmill. It's going to be more beneficial for you in the long term. So, don't get too stressed about that. But you will feel more tired. Your sleep will be affected. You will be looking at everybody that you know you're competing against. You go, oh my God, she's so much better condition than I am. She's so much further. Why am I even bothering going? So, well, because you don't know what she's going to do on the day. She's in the same boat. She's probably looking at you and going, crap, Rachel's looking great. Why am I bothering? And you'd be like, Rachel's looking at her going.
Actually, Haley messaged me about, because I mentioned, I think a couple of podcasts ago with the imposter syndrome, and how me and Haley from ICN were both comparing each other, and we both were like, oh my God, I look up to you. Oh my God, I look up to you. And then she messaged me saying, yeah, we did that to ourselves. That's our own fault. Absolutely.
Yep. It happens.
So and if you actually do look up to someone, it can be quite nice to tell them, because it's really funny when they then respond saying that they think the same way about you.
Yeah. Yes. I know you've got a secret pen pal going on with your new girl crush, so I haven't told Natalia about this yet. That's still out of the
Natalia is still my number one, I will say.
Okay,
She is still my number
sure.
one. She is. Girls doing IFBB, yes, you should be terrified.
Yeah. I know. Yes, enough said about that. That's why every time she posts something, I keep putting a little secret over the top of it. It's like, stop showing everybody. We want a surprise.
See, I see when you repost her or when she posts, and I'm like, this bitch looks too damn good.
Yeah. It's like, yeah.
I'm like, we get it, Talia. You look amazing.
Yeah, it's like, thank you for reminding the rest of us mere mortals that we are just heathens. And
Inferior.
we should just stay in the kiddie section of the gym and just use the pink weights. That's about it.
That's how I feel.
Yeah, it's like, okay, right. Thank you.
Anyway.
Moving on before we get ourselves in more trouble.
So, actually, on that note, yes, try not to put too much pressure on yourself. When you do see someone like the goddess herself, just remember, like, you can only do what you can do. You can't do any more than that. If you've given your 110%, you literally cannot do more than that. Like, at the end of the day, if you've done everything your coach has told you, what else are you going to do?
Exactly. And again, there's only going to be one happy person, and that's the person that's going to win. Everybody going into nationals is going in with an expectation that they will do well. They've got, they're not, as I said, they're not going there just to make up the numbers. They're going in there because they're pushing for that national title. Some of them are pushing for pro card status, but you just don't know what's going to happen. You don't know what's going to happen in their last week. You don't know what they're going through. And at the end of the day, if you show up and say, hey, I'm better than I was last year, you may improve your placings. You may go from third to second. You may go to first. You may go backwards. But at the end of the day, the thing about nationals is everybody's going to be good. And if they're not good, they shouldn't be there. That's how I look at it. So nationals is always fun. There's always lessons to be learned from nationals. I mean, I've coached and judged at nationals levels, both in New Zealand and overseas. You learn from it. There's always some interesting experiences. But, the biggest mistake I've seen is people who make massive changes to their food, their peak week strategy, even new posing, like in that week or so. Like, for example, the NZIFBB, if you do Waikato and then suddenly it's like completely go and change what you're doing because you got second or something and you thought you should be first. The reality of it is it's going to work against you. It's consistency beats chaos every time. Just one foot in the other. Stay calm. You've done all the work you've done to get there. Reinventing the wheel in that final couple of weeks is not going to do you any favors. Completely changing your whole posing routine or changing your entire mandatory poses because you felt that somebody else was better. You've mastered them. You're just tweaking them. So don't reinvent the wheel. Less reinvention, maybe a little bit tinkering, a little bit of discipline. Just stay the course.
Yeah, it's just minor tweaks. You don't need, if any major changes are actually probably also going to stress you out. If you completely change your posing routine, you are going to be very stressed backstage because you're like, crap, I need to remember this new posing routine and make sure I don't do the old one. So it will stress you out more having those big changes than if you just make minor tweaks to get all those 1%. If you get, 7, 8 of them, 8%.
Yeah, and oftentimes it is that top 5% or whatever that is the difference. Like nationals isn't the time to experiment. You should already know what you're going to be doing to go into nationals.
Absolutely, 100%. If you are going to experiment, it should be at the regional show.
Yep, that's what it's for.
So, speaking of, that is kind of what I did.
Yes, you did.
So I might as well do this for myself as well, so you guys can kind of see, or hear, I should say, what I am going to be trying to improve between the regional and national shows, just to give some, I guess, real-life personal examples of what things to improve. So it's not just, iffy, random bullet points.
What's wrong with bullet points?
Well, I mean,
you accuse me of waffling too much. I like bullet points. I can just say, and bullet point number 1. And then you can...
well, we're making it more real, more tangible, less generic.
Turning over a new leaf is what you're saying. All right. Okay. Yeah. As you were, madam, please regale us with your experiences.
Well, for the regional show, definitely I was not hitting my poses quite right. Chris and I actually had a quick little tweak session yesterday to make sure that I was adjusting my poses slightly. Again, we weren't doing big changes, just little adjustments. I was just, hunching over a little bit, and I can probably put a comparison photo up. My torso looked half the length it usually does. Really, I actually looked kind of short. It was really funny.
Yeah, you were posing like a short person. And it wasn't a big difference we made too.
No,
we
very
basically
minor.
Lifting from the pelvis and the lower abdomen, just lifting up a little bit, and it made a huge difference.
Yeah. And then also adding to that was my suit. I did experiment a little bit with the suit. I'm absolutely in love with the color. The color was immaculate of what I wanted, but I did try a different cup shape to what you have done in the past, and
Yeah.
just to kind of see if it would work, because obviously it's for my business. It's good for me to just test things, and I'd rather test it on myself than anyone else.
Yeah. Good.
So the cup was a little bit shorter, and as a taller competitor, it made me look a little bit shorter. It made me look a little bit, I guess, more blocky and stumpy. I look better with a longer cup shape. And then so that plus the posing, plus my suit bottoms, I had the bottom rise at the front a little bit higher than I usually would as well, which also shortened the torso. So
Same for the swimsuit one too, wasn't it? The bottom cut was
it
just
was a little bit too wide.
So,
Yeah.
which being a taller girl, you need to make use of, of not trying to hide that, of literally saying, look, this, make the most of the height.
Definitely it was more comfortable. I did feel a lot less like I had to like adjust things because it was like the coverage is nice. But it didn't look quite as good. I think I really suit having a little bit narrower towards the front, even though it's not as comfortable. But yeah, so I mean we live and we learn. And then what else did I do? But yeah, hitting the poses better, getting the cut on my suits better, because yeah, I was experimenting with them a little bit. Oh, I did not do my nails at all. I completely forgot about it. I was supposed to bring some nail polish and do it when we got to the
I'm actually
Airbnb.
I'm actually not convinced you were actually aware we were competing till we got on the plane.
I'm gonna be honest, I kind of forgot. But like, literally the day before, I was like, "Oh yeah, I should have a pack. I'm supposed to be competing this weekend. What do I need?"
It was pretty much like that. It was quite
Yeah.
entertaining.
Yeah. We didn't actually peak for this show, as Chris alluded to earlier. So definitely, for us, doing a proper carb up will be beneficial. I actually probably carved down because of our flight delay. It was fantastic though having Chris on the flight because they had some in-flight snacks, and I just gave him this look of like, can I? And he was like, fine. So I got to eat the in-flight snacks.
I did look at the nutrition panel on the back first and go, okay, that'll do.
Perks of traveling with your coach.
And the other things, with your posing that we worked on, like from the back poses, he said it's like there's a couple of things I've sort of been looking at, which we might sort of look into tweaking a little bit just to make it a bit more playing on your height. But we talked a little bit about, how generally you just go straight. Most of the girls just go straight into the back pose and they don't flex until they get up there. And we sort of looked at a couple of different ways we could change the points of contraction or points of tension in your back so that it goes from being a to a being a. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it did make quite a bit of difference.
Minor tweaks.
Yeah, but just as you said, just polishes, really.
Yeah. And then also, obviously, I'm going to be coming in a bit leaner. There was no point in me coming in full stage condition 5 weeks out from the show, plus also planning to do Oceanias, which is another 2 weeks after the Nationals, I believe.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I will be coming in quite a bit leaner. I've already dropped nearly 2 kgs.
Yeah, but it's amazing what the threat of cardio does. She's like, oh, crap.
Literally, Chris will send me that my cardio has increased, and the next morning, before I've even done it, I'm a kg down. My body is scared of cardio.
I sometimes suspect that she might be falsifying her scale.
No, I actually have it recorded. It's a Bluetooth that I can show you the records.
Maybe I should just log into it. What I should do is log into it and change it and increase it up one day and just watch you. My God, I don't know how that happened.
But yeah, so all minor things. None of these things are major. Like literally, we're going to be. I'm going to eat some carbs because I need them. Bring a fuller look. Be more conditioned. I'm going to just minor tweaks to my posing. My routines are pretty much going to be the same. Just hit the poses better. I thought my presentation overall was pretty good. I definitely know I had lower energy in bikini because it was the end of the day. I was a bit tired at that point. But overall, I think my presentation was pretty good. Just didn't quite hit the poses on. And yeah, this time I'm going to be really working to get the suit cut actually to my body. No experiments this time. We're going to do what we know works.
Yeah, exactly. And regionals is the time to experiment.
Yes.
It's regionals, that's what qualifies you for nationals. Nobody really remembers your regional result. They remember your national result. So you could have won, your class in whatever regional show for whatever federation. But if you are a national champion or you are a class champion or you're, top 3 in your class, that's what people remember. That's where your definition of success in the competitive sport comes from. The national. So it doesn't necessarily have to be reflected by a pro status or pro card status. To win your class, not necessarily win the pro card, but regionals is practice.
Yes,
Nationals.
and if you didn't place as well as you would have liked, obviously I would have liked to win. I did not. I came third in bikini. I came second in swimsuit in my class. I technically would have been like third, I guess, overall, because Tasha would have beat me. Yeah, coming off having a world championship title last year to doing that at a regional show, obviously not fun for me. I mean, it is what it is, but you always go in wanting to win. So you just got to kind of realize, hey, nope, we just keep moving on. We go to nationals and we place better. Same thing happened last year. I think I placed last in bikini. I wasn't in the top 5. I was like 6th or 7th or something. Then I came to the regional show, and I was, in the open, I think I came third in bikini, but then I won swimsuit, and I think I was third in swimsuit at the regional show from memory. A lot can change between regionals and nationals.
Yep. And it's, again, it's that 1%. It's not, you're not changing everything. You can't get more muscle mass in 4 to 5 weeks, really. When
If only.
You can't get much. All you can really do is improve your presentation and your conditioning, and that's what needs to be your focus on. So, it's nationals should be terrifyingly fun because it's the culmination of everything that you've done, and it's also the foundation for your next year.
It is.
Whatever happens, there's still going to be another show unless you bugger like me and decide never going to do that again. So enjoy it. So what else are we going to talk about nationals? Whatever federation you do, be the best you can, do the best you can. And remember, it's an experience, it's a journey. And you're going to have wonderful people you're going to meet backstage. Like if you're an ICN, you'll meet Rachel backstage, and then, you'll see that people tend to gravitate to her. I think it's because she's got a needle and thread.
But it's really funny. I actually, when I was fixing one girl's bikini, I had another girl come up to me like, "Oh, can you just?" Or like I was doing a back strap, I think, and then they're like, "Oh, can you check mine too?" And I'm like, "Okay, yeah, that's all good. I'm the bikini fairy backstage."
Yep. We're going to get you a little toolkit, actually, a little belt that you can wear.
Well, that's a good idea.
We'll bedazzle it up to match your microphone. You could actually wear it part of your runway thing. You could go like tradie runway. It'd be like a little shoulder belt thing, maybe with some. No,
okay, I don't know about that one.
Just me. All right, moving along.
But yeah, no.
Anyway.
Just do what you can. Remember, you shouldn't be doing too many major changes, and relax the day before the show. Just stop stressing, because at that point you've pretty much done everything you can do, and relaxing is actually the best thing for you at that point. That is how you make the most improvements at that point. You relax.
That's true. You've done all the hard work. You're not going to get any leaner. If you start stressing out, you are going to start retaining water, information, etc., etc., etc. So just, have faith in yourself and the work that you've put into it. Have faith in your team and the support that they've provided you. And get out there and have some fun with it. And if you're fortunate enough to come out with a title, great. And if you don't, get the feedback, reset, come back next year and do it again.
And remember that your placing is nothing to do with, it's not a personal reflection on how much work you've done, how much effort you've put in. It has nothing to do with that. No matter how hard you work, someone else may still beat you on the day. It does not matter how hard you work. If it did, I would have been placed last for everything last year, to be honest.
I would like it known for the record that I did not say that. In fact, I'm just gonna shut up.
Hey, this year I'm doing cardio. Okay, everybody, I'm doing cardio and I'm dieting this year. Last year, not so much. My body just decided it wanted to be hyper responsive for some reason. I don't know. Yeah, it has nothing to do with it. Like, honestly, I say every right. Most people, if it was to do with effort, everyone should have been me, because everyone worked harder than me, 100%. So, do not think it's a personal reflection on you. It has nothing to do with you. It is just, how did your physique match the criteria on the day? It doesn't even mean, do you look the best you ever looked? No, it has nothing to do with that. It's, did you match the criteria? So, don't think it's a reflection on you. You probably look the best you've ever looked in your life. Amazing. If you don't get rewarded for that, it doesn't have anything to do with you looking the best you have in your life. It's just because potentially maybe you just need a bit more time to get to the criteria. It's literally just about the criteria. It has nothing to do with you.
Yeah. It's just about the criteria. It's just about who else is there on the day. And really, at the end of the day, if you're happy with what you brought to the stage, that's the most important thing. I mean, yes, it's nice to get a different color medal or a placard or a trophy or anything like that. But at the end of the day, if you are like, I'm really happy with the look that I brought, everybody else's opinion is just that. So embrace what
you might not even like the look of the criteria at that point.
Yeah. And we've got one of our team members herself. I mean, she just recently was competed overseas. I thought she looked phenomenal.
She did.
Did the judges necessarily approve of it? No. She still placed well. But the thing was, she came off stage saying, I'm really happy with the way I looked. And Me as a coach, I'm like, job done.
Yeah.
That's all I can ask. Anyway, that's enough about nationals. For those of you that are preparing for nationals, we do wish you all the very best. Unless you're competing against racial, then we hope you break an ankle. We might get that edited in. Probably not, because we need something to get me in trouble. That'll make a good meme.
Yeah, guys, when we are saying that stuff, just checking, we are being sarcastic. We don't want you to break an ankle, but we also don't want you to beat me at the same time.
This is why we have to do all this stuff remotely, because otherwise we'll get in too much trouble. But no, we do wish you all the very best, everybody that's getting ready to compete in whatever federation, whatever part of the world that you're going to do it. And remember, enjoy it, get out there, have some fun. And again, on behalf of Rachel and myself, we thank you for listening to our incredibly unstructured diatribe of today. She's got prep brain, I've got no excuse, I'm just going senile. But if you liked today's episode, please make sure you hit, I get in trouble if I don't say this, by the way, please make sure you hit and subscribe on Spotify or Apple Podcasts so you don't miss the next one every Saturday. And if you're enjoying the Macro Lounge, please leave us a rating and review. It actually really does help the other things find the show. And you can also follow us on Instagram at macro_lounge_podcast. Rachel and myself will get back to you through there. Thank you for listening, and we will see you around the competitive tracks.
See you all in nationals.